I'm Chris Martin. I'm principal trumpet of the New York Philharmonic, and I'm a big fan of John Mackey's music. I'd wanted a trumpet piece from him for a long time, and so for it to be not only a trumpet piece and not only a concerto, but such a great piece of music, like such a massive, like 4 movements, a lot of color, a lot of contrast. So to have him in the room while you're playing such a piece for the for kind of its birth is amazing, and to have Jerry there, who is like, he's the guru, man. You know? So yeah, it's a dream come true. I feel very lucky to be here, to be a part of it. I think anytime you allow people to see the process behind something that's so complicated, and that is striving for such a high level, that's a good thing, because most, and I would include myself in this. A lot of times, if you see an album out for sale and you think, yeah, okay. You listen to it, you think, that really sounds great. And all you think about is, like, that sounds great, or, I don't like this, maybe I like this piece, I'm not sure. But you don't realize, even as a musician in the business, in the world, like, you don't realize how much work goes into this, like how many hours, hundreds of hours from hundreds of people goes into making one good album. And to make a great album takes an even more work. And so if you can let people into that, sort of behind the curtain, and see that world, that's a great thing. I think they have more appreciation for not only music in general, but what this band is doing, what Dallas Winds is doing, and that's a good. I think it's a win-win. Yeah, the Dallas Winds for me it's an awesome band, and when I've done one project with them, a small one, but it was a pleasure from start to finish. And this is a very different thing from the John Williams Lincoln piece. This is a lot more notes, a lot more technical, a lot wider spectrum, but this band can play anything. This band, I was just listening to them rehearse a few minutes ago, and they're tearing it up, eating it for breakfast. And so this is the perfect situation to do this piece, to play it, but especially to record it. It's a perfect band. Everybody's got chops, everybody's got skill, everybody's got musicianship, and everybody has got the drive to do it. So yeah, it's perfect. Couldn't ask for anything better. So if anytime you play a new piece, a commission, it's a process. It's a process for the composer, of course, and it's a process for the performers to learn the piece, to grow into the piece. And I still feel I've learned it well, but I still feel I'm growing into it and having it feel natural. Especially when you take the piece in as a whole, the 4 movements, it is an evolution, I feel, for him. There's a real emotional journey to this piece. There's a historical journey, but also an emotional one, and also, I think, in a way, a kind of a musicological one. And so you get the traditional Mackey vocabulary, but you've got French Baroque in there. You've got a little Hollywood in there, and then you've got the usual, like, heavy metal vibe that you're used to. So, but it's a great piece. I mean, for as difficult as it is as much or more so great quality of music. And to be honest, it's a kind of composition that doesn't happen much anymore for the trumpet these days. It's pyrotechnic, and it's technical, and it's high, fast, loud, all that, but it's also really beautiful and idiomatically lyrical for the trumpet. And you don't find that combination often anymore, or these days, I should say. Depends, depends on the situation, and Mackey is a really special musician. And he's put a lot of time and blood, sweat, and tears into this piece, and so it's incumbent on us and me to do the same. It's amazing. Like, when you look at professional sports teams, and I often think, like, it's amazing how little they do with so much. So much money, so much support, so much PR, and there's like 3 good quarterbacks in the NFL. Like, how is that possible, right? But then you look at how many arts organizations and musical organizations especially are doing so much with nothing, with no support from the government, with hardly any support from corporations, and basically just support from private philanthropists, people who love music and just want to do it themselves. Music in this country, especially these days, is such a grassroots effort that, if you even have the slightest interest, you should get involved. And as you said before, the more you see, the more you start to love it. And the more you realize how much value there is in this world. So.
Well, thank you so much. That's
okay.
We've got everything we need.
Cutting off too bad.
No, it was all great.